Okay. All right, so I started the recording right now. I just forgot to start it earlier. So good evening once again, everyone. And yeah, as I was saying, since today is Raksha Bandhan, so first of all, I hope that your Rakis went like pretty great today. You all enjoyed it a lot, eat a lot of sweets, had fun with your brothers and sisters and family, and it was like a very, very great day. As per this webinar, yeah, webinar to it's a 1 hour. Okay, it's a 1 hour 15 minutes actually, but I'll try to keep it to 1 hour 5 minutes or something. Okay, we'll just keep it a little short so that you can save time, ahead in the webinar. So today's webinar is basically the second part. That is, first part was creating lesson plans as per NEP 2020 mathematics, which we have already done. Mathematics is done on Wednesday. Now we have English, which is here today, that is Friday. Okay. So, okay, before we move ahead with the webinar, which is a very important topic, especially lesson plans creation, you should know how to do that, the crux of your teaching actually. So before that, I would like to say two things from the homework app side and team. You get participation certificate for each and every webinar you attend. So even today's webinar is certified in nature. I will share you the certificate link towards the end of the webinar. And then there's a Smart Teacher Festival, which is basically an opportunity which the homework app and team provides you, wherein you can participate and you can earn a Smart Teacher official certificate and a reward which is worth rupees 2000. Okay, so you can earn all of these things, by participating in the Smart Teacher Festival, and which is free of cost. But we'll talk more about it, during the end of the webinar. Okay. All right. So before I move ahead with the lesson plan and all the basics of it, just let's cover up, NEP 2020 and a little brief of it before we move ahead, right? Because since we are discussing lesson plans as per CBSE, as per NEP 2020, we should know what NEP 2020 is, uske guidelines kya hai, recent changes kya hai, and what should be inculcated in a lesson plans, overall, like the area of focus for us. Okay. So in very short and brief, it's 6 p.m. exactly. All right. In short and brief, NEP 2020, as we all know, okay, it's a revision of the policy of the government, which was introduced in the 1980s, right? Earlier, there was NPE, the National Policy of Education, which, if compared in today's economy and today's world, was very rote, very traditional, didn't cater to any of the life skills or student skills, which we are now discussing in today's world in classrooms. Policy needed to be changed. Okay. Today's policy, which we call as the NEP rather than NPE, is basically National Education Policy and not National Policy of Education as the earlier policy. It's a revision. Okay. And by 2030, the government will revise this policy again and again by 2040, 50, 60, and so on and so forth. Okay. So policy basically India के कुछ बहुत ही basic areas को tap in करता है. It taps in the very basics like education should be affordable, it should be accessible to as many people as possible coming from different backgrounds, sections, societies. Obviously, whatever education you provide, it shouldn't be just quantity in nature. It should be quality as well. When you are imparting knowledge as a teacher, as a professor, it's your duty to make sure that students understand on the other hand as well. And whatever you are imparting, is imparted in such a manner that it caters to each and every student individually or on an individual level. Okay. Obviously, education should be equitable. Biases nahi rakh sakte hai. Being a teacher, being a school, ki I'll not provide education to you, I'll not teach you or that or this. If you are a teacher, it's your responsibility, it's your duty, it's an obligation you hold with you, right? And again, you have to be accountable as well, in the entire process to make sure that learning goes smooth, and very signal secure and systematic way. So that's a basic introduction of the NEP. Now, some of the important salient features you can see on the screen. Some others more which the NEP 2020 talks about. One of the very important concepts is experiential learning or experimental learning. Okay. Now, what it does mean is basically learning by doing. Okay, so learn जब हम कोई भी चीज को करते करते सीखते हैं, right? So if my teacher said कि read the physics book for the chapter motion, and then she tells me in one class, prepare a project on motion in which you show a car moving from one place to another, a car prepared by you from the scraps. Okay. The second class in which I made the project, making a car using the scraps, basically describes the concepts of, speed, velocity, or motion in much more detail than the book. Okay, because it's a practical exposure which I'm getting. Also, I'm learning the chapter, I'm learning the concepts by doing something. So experiential learning is one of the major focuses of the NEP 2020, under which many of the terms like art integrated learning, sport integrated learning, storytelling, and integrating drama, and then we have, so much more, actually, so much more, which we can't even remember. The basic focus kya hai? Students should be able to learn, what you are imparting. They should be able to understand. Okay, the road structure, that one syllabus, one curriculum, has to cater to all. It's not feasible in the practical aspect. Every student is different from each other. A class mein on an average, the data shows that 30% students average hote hain, right? To get 12 students, out of 40 in a class are average in nature. What about those average students? What about above average and, and below average students? What about the students who are failing? So every student learns in a different way. Zaruri nahi hai ki if toppers are okay with book and note system, they are also, others are also okay with the same. They might learn by watching something. They might learn by listening to something. They might learn by reading more books, or maybe talking to more people, who are elder than them, right? So some people learn in some way, some people learn in another way. So NEP 2020 understood the crux, of human psychology, and especially child psychology. So because of it, it also changed the pedagogical structure, that is the teaching structure, the curriculum, the assessment reforms. Everything has changed, and everything right now in schools in 2022, which is also about to end in around 4 to 5 months, is more than just education, more than just marks. And that is the beauty of this policy we are all having. Okay, not only it focuses on that, but also on the foundational literacy and numeracy. So for every child, every person, in India, basic level of education, is very, very important. The foundational, literacy and numeracy, right? But talking about in terms of education specifically, FLN is a term which is used very, very frequently. And foundational literacy and numeracy typically means that, a child should have the basic knowledge, basic concepts, basic understanding, before he moves to a certain, higher grade, right? That should be established, because if basics aren't clear, har ek class mein problem hogi. Even if a child is a bright student, he will lose his focus, she will lose his focus, ultimately fail. If the child fails, drop out, and life barbad, right? So to stop that, it's very, very important that you take certain assessments and reforms in the very earlier levels as well, right? So when you mold a pot, of clay, you mold it in the earlier levels well, so that in the last stage of it, you just have to finish a little here and there, and your pot is ready. But if you leave it very, deela, easy in the earlier stages, the pot basically destroys. So it's same, like that, the very old adage which is famous in the Indian culture. Okay, so just discussing the NEP 2020 and the salient features in brief for your understanding, why it is so important, what changes it brought in India, especially in the education system and education sector, and then why CBSE follows, closely the NEP 2020. Okay, every education system has to follow NEP 2020 in some way, but CBS follows it very, very closely because there's a value, which the policy adds on to the students. Okay, and because of the same, we are having this webinar today, how to create lesson plans, for English as per, NEP 2020. Right now, after discussing NEP kya hai, salient features kya hai, which is just like a 5-6 minutes introduction which I gave to you right now, I will tell you some of the basic questions, which the CBSE board demands for from the students, and why teachers need to inculcate the practice of these questions in their lesson plans as well. So I'm repeating what I said again, because this will establish the crux of the webinar ahead. I am going to tell you right now that the board is demanding certain types of questions, to be practiced by students. And this to be known by teachers is also very, very important. Okay, because they have to inculcate these kind of questions in their lesson plans, in the practice session as well. Ki agar mera lesson plan hai, mera chapter plan hai, I have to include a practice session, right? Ki this class is for practice, or for the old papers, sample papers, previous year papers, etc. So all these things, has to be added, very, very systematically. That we'll discuss when we'll discuss the lesson plan part properly. But right now, just giving you the basic introduction of everything, so that later on when I say anything, you are able to connect. Okay, why is she speaking X, why is she speaking Z, why is she speaking Y. Okay, all right. So NEP 2020, okay, CBSE. Okay, the CBSE board gave out an announcement in May 2022. Now, what was the announcement? In simple terms, the CBSE announced that competency based questions, competency based questions from standard 9 to standard 12 are seeing an 10% increment. Okay, so 10% increment हुआ है competency based questions में for standard 9 and 10 and 11th and 12th. Okay, that is the very important news we should all know. Okay, now competency based questions, what are they? Competency based questions are those questions which test the knowledge, skill and abilities of the student. It tests the competencies, the skills the student has acquired all throughout by learning. Those are competency based questions. Okay, so competency based questions can come in any form: value based, source based, case based, MCQ, subjective, any form, it can come. And because there are so many forms and such a higher weightage on competency based question from now on, as per the CBSE circular, we have to inculcate these kind of questions into our lesson plan as well for practice, right? So that is again a topic for, a topic for a time ahead in this webinar, but giving you a basic gist of it right now. Now, whatever I told you right now, I'll just show you the same. Okay. But before that, let's understand the different types of questions I just talked about and which the CBSE board demands from the student. So that when I tell you ki lesson plan mein you can inculcate this, you can inculcate that ahead in the webinar, you understand, okay, which kind of question she is talking about, what does this question mean, and you're able to connect more. Okay, MCQs. The first type, MCQs are multiple choice question. Now, as the name suggests, there are choices in the form of 4 to 5 options. And since there are more than one option, it's multiple choice, right? So only one option can be correct. Those are multiple choice questions. Okay. Subjective and objective type. Now, when I say facts, okay, yeah. So when I say facts that bee stings is a universal fact. Each and every bee stings in the world, right? But when I tell students that state your logic behind, this approach, state your own reasoning behind this particular perspective. What do you learn from this particular passage, or story or poem or prose? What are your views? What do you conclude? What inference do you draw from it? All these questions are subjective in nature, which the students can write from their own logic, their own perspective. Okay, and then we have objective type questions which have a definite answer. So if I say to my students, list eight elements, of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, they can't write something on their own. These are like stated facts which can't change, right? So these are objective type of questions. Very important to understand this. असर्शन टाइप क्वेश्चन. ना असर्शन रीजनिंग टाइप के जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं ना, वो दो टाइप में आ सकते हैं. ओके, एक तो एमसीक्यूज है. एक यू स्टेट द असर्शन एंड मेक इट एन ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन, वेन द स्टूडेंट हैव टू राइट द रीजनिंग. Alright, so assertion क्या होता है? When I say कि something like food cans are coated with tin, not zinc, that is my assertion. Now, what can be my reason कि food cans को क्यों zinc से coat नहीं करके tin से coat करते हैं? So zinc is more reactive than tin, and hence since we have to protect the can under various circumstances of heat, dust, snow, wind, rain, etc., we have to coat it with a metal which is less reactive and kind of durable under these situations, right? So again, the reason can be anything, okay, according to the assertion. So if you see right now in the very second para, I've given this assertion and reason. Just see the blue dot I am revolving in my screen. So the assertion is here and the reason is here. Okay, also can be given in the form of MCQs. All right, these are assertion reasoning type of questions. Now, source based questions kya hota hai? The questions which come directly from the sources. So if I teach my students, let's say from a certain kind of book, McGraw-Hill ke book se teach kar rahi hu, yeah, any book I'm using, RS, Agarwal or ML Agarwal or RD Sharma, or any other books I'm using to teach my students. Okay, whatever books I'm using, whether it's Shakespeare, whether it's anything, Elizabethan Place ke books hai, all the questions which come directly from the source or from the books I teach them, from the notes I give them, are source based question. It comes from the sources you have provided to students. Okay, so I hope all these question types are clear to all of you right now. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you, all these questions which I explained right now? Yeah, very sorry. I was getting an important call. All right. So everybody understood, right? Now, teachers see, even if you joined, so, oh, sure, Priyaji, I can repeat 100 times. Okay, don't worry. Oh, Mariam ji, is there a problem in my voice, everyone? Or is it okay? Yes, Priyaji, I'm repeating. Is it a problem in my voice or in my PPT, anyone, or is it okay? Is it just for some or everyone? Is there a problem in my voice? Okay, I just changed my network connection. Is my PPT visible again? Okay. Fine. All right. I just changed my network connection. So yeah. Okay, very sorry for the same. Anyways, Payal ji, I'm repeating assertion type and reasoning type. Okay. So assertion reasoning type of questions to Henna, it can come in two types. Okay. First type is it can come in the form of MCQs. Second type is it can come in the form of an open-ended question, जहां पर you give the assertion. Now, assertion क्या होता है? So, as you see the example which I've stated here, food cans are coated with tin, not zinc. That is an assertion. I have stated a fact out there कि I do this or people do this in the world in general. But what is the reason behind doing that? Right? So if I say कि जब when there's a solar eclipse, okay, let's say my assertion is a fact. When there's a solar eclipse, people are advised not to look directly at the sun because अब इसका reason क्या होगा कि उसमें there are harmful radiations and because of this reasons and that reasons the rays affect the eyes a lot in the long term, and all the scientific explanations can be given. So assertion is any fact you state out there and then the students have to reason it out that why. Okay, so it's any statement which you make and the student have to reason it out. Again, इसको आप MCQs के भी form में दे सकते हैं जहां पर you state both the assertion and the reason and the four options are given. A and R both are correct. A is the correct explanation, or let's say A is correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. So these kind of four, MCQs, are given in options. All right. If you want to watch more on the examples as well, from the chapters, what kind of questions can come, we have done webinars, previously, how to prepare competency based questions. So in there I have explained everything कि value based questions क्या होते हैं for English, math, science, every subject. I've given examples from chapters. I've self prepared questions which I've given to teachers. You can see those webinars for greater clarity. Okay. Oh, Priya ji, no worries. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. ठीक है, so ये सब questions जानना जरूरी है. And again, for the teachers who joined late, okay, I'm very sorry to the others, but I have to repeat for them, the people who joined late. So I just explained the gist of, कि there was an announcement by CBSE in May, and this was the announcement which you can see on the screen. The competency based questions have a very high, importance right now in the board's paper, both for 9 and 10 and 11th and 12th. And what kind of question types can come under competency based, we just discussed right now for a clarity to the teachers. And then we discussed a little just about NEP 2020 and the salient features of it. Now, someone would tell me, why are we discussing this when we are here for a lesson plan? It's because whenever I do my webinars, I believe that first you have to clear the basics and then you move on to the crux of the topic. Okay, so just to clarify your basics for NEP 2020, the salient features, key announcement kya tha, what you have to focus on, what kind of questions can come. Now we will step on to the lesson plan topic. Okay, so that whatever I say to you, you can connect more that, okay, this is important. I have to include this in my lesson plan. That is how, the approach should be. Okay, so just clarifying, for the ones who joined late. All right, this is just a comparison which I told you earlier कि पहले 30% weightage था. Now it's minimum 40% weightage for competency based question for 9 and 10, and similarly for 11th and 12th. Earlier it was 20% competency based. Now it's minimum 30% competency based in the form of MCQs, case based, source based. Any type of questions can come. Okay, all these can be seen in the May announcement, of CBSE regarding the question paper pattern, or type. All right. So just showing you a little comparison here in simple, terms as this table. All right. All right. It's 6:20, almost 2 minutes more to go still. and we have completed the basics, which we need to know to understand the lesson plans very, very properly. Now I want all the teachers to be very, very active, because I'm going to share a lot of links with you. Okay, I'm going to share a lot of website links with all of you, which you have to save somewhere, because all are very, very important sources for you to refer. So either you send to someone on WhatsApp, either you send to someone on WhatsApp and start it down in a group, or maybe to your family members, either you copy paste it in your notes and use it later, or either you open the link right now in your laptop and bookmark it. So that is very, very important. Okay, I'm telling you from right now. I'll share a lot of links with you. Okay, before moving to the lesson plan template and exactly how it should be made for English, for classes 4 to 12, what should we do, what is the syllabus and everything, just the basic 8 elements of lesson plan wo kya hote hai, okay? Because whenever you see a template of a lesson plan, these 8 basic elements will be there. Cross question me, you can actually put a, you can actually even challenge me, that ma'am, is it necessary we can prepare without this also? But I can challenge you back, it's not possible to prepare without these 8. A proper official lesson plan should consist of these 8 elements, no matter what. These provides clarity, a readability to your lesson plan, कि किसका lesson plan है, क्या lesson plan है, क्यों है ये lesson plan, क्या objective है, क्या output है, क्या assessment है. Very important. Okay, the first thing in the 8 elements is the grade level and the subject level. Very simple, self explanatory. You have to state कि अगर आप 4th standard के science teacher हो या फिर 10th standard के maths teacher हो, so your grade level 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever is your grade. Your subject level, whether you're in accounts, IT, mathematics, environmental studies, SST, English, or maybe computer, bio, whatever teacher you are, okay, whatever subject you teach, you have to state that as well. Okay, second is type of lesson. Very important. You have to state which kind of lesson you are teaching the students right now. So especially in subjects like biology, there's a lot of bifurcation of units, ki humans pay, plants pay, animals pay, and there are different kingdoms which we study. So when these kind of bifurcations are there, you can actually just state on the top that unit 4, plant kingdom, and the chapter number and the chapter name is this. So type of lesson is here. And then another element is, yeah, this topic, which would come after that. Okay, topic. All right, so grade level ho gaya, subject level ho gaya, first element. Then comes type of lesson, what kind of lesson you are teaching, why you are teaching, and then the name of the topic. Very important, you have to clarify that as well, right? Which topic you are making it for. Now again, I repeated it in my last webinar, I repeated it in my 5 to 6 last webinars, I'll repeat it again as well today. One of the most important and not something you can miss is the duration. You have to state in the lesson plan. हर एक lesson plan में without the time it's incomplete, it doesn't make any sense. It's just a paper with a plan which can take 1 year, 2 years, 10 years to complete. People know nothing of it. It's just uncertain. You have to state the duration which you take. One particular chapter, let's say, has 5 subtopics. So you have to state clearly one subtopic 2 hours, one subtopic 2 hours, the third subtopic 1 hour, the fourth subtopic maybe 5 hours. And why? Show the bifurcation of those hours as well. 2 May, 1 plus 1. In 1 hour, what are my details? What will I do? In another hour, what are my details? What will I do? So just imagine it, like, a tree. Okay, like a tree, like a Christmas tree structure. Okay, like a triangle structure. Now just imagine everyone a triangular structure in your head. On the top is your 2 hours of time duration for subtopic A. Now dividing the 2 hours into 1 and 1 hour. Now how can I divide my 1 hour? I divide my 1 hour into 3 parts. Introduction, art integrated learning, and then we have the concluding class, and then feedback. Okay, all these are divided by my 1 hour class. Then the another 1 hour class maybe can be greater explanations of the subtopic UA, giving students on spot exercises in class to complete, fun quiz group activities to complete and understand the topic, clarify their doubts, do group activities, do small sessions, make projects, etc. Okay, so time duration and clarity of the time you are taking is very important. If I say I'm taking 40 minutes, I am the one who is accountable for each and every minute I have stated. So you have to state what I am taking 40 minutes for. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, what will I do? How have I planned the session? Very important. Okay, then comes the objective. ठीक है, हर एक लेसन प्लान में ऑब्जेक्टिव के बिना इट्स नॉट कंप्लीट अगेन. यू हैव टू स्टेट व्हाई यू आर टीचिंग अ सर्टेन लेसन. इफ यू आर टीचिंग quadratic equations, linear equations, time, speed, work, distance, or or probability, etc., why you are teaching it, what is the, what is the meaning of it, or what is the just the use of it in the real life, why should I learn this, what implications will it have on my brain or myself, what is your objective behind teaching the lesson. Exactly. Okay, topic we discussed. Okay, coming to materials, right? Now, materials again, if you are a maths teacher, English teacher, SST teacher, okay, materials is again very, very important, not only for English, but also for all the subjects, and case lists or case plans in general. Okay, so materials क्या हो गया कि if I'm using RD Sharma for mathematics, RS Agarwal, ML Agarwal, all these things are my materials. Then my resources can be some journals, research articles, blogs, some verified YouTube channels, some more question paper practice channels like Vedantu, Byju's, etc. Right? So you have to state clearly what and all you are referring exactly to teach your students. So if you state that I'm teaching time, speed, and distance and in mathematics, or let's say a letter to God. Okay, let's say you are teaching a letter to God in English, and you say ki in order to teach a letter to God, I need at least 10 hours to complete the chapter with revision. Okay, just given an example, you need at least 10 hours to complete the chapter with revision. Okay, the last 2 hours you can kind of keep, for doubt session, concept clearing, games, activities, all the feedback mechanisms you are doing. And you have to state that all the resources which you have mentioned, the blogs, the Vedantu, the Byju's, are you making students solve some from there? So you have to write that in your lesson plan. I am making students solve 10 practice questions from Byju's daily, 10 practice questions from Vedantu daily or Unacademy daily. That is very, very important to state. Okay, then we come to directions. So now what are directions? The things which I stated just now. Okay, just now, ki how do you bifurcate your number of hours into details? Ki what are you doing? How will you do? What resources are you using? What materials are you using? These are the directions. It tells, it should tell everybody who reads your lesson plan what exactly you are doing in every class, every hour, every minute. It should be that clear. It should be directional in nature. Again, some teachers follow the same, some teachers don't, but it depends person to person. But this is uh, an official format for the same. Okay, and then we come to assessment. हर एक lesson के end में usually you have to assess yourself, right? Teachers have to assess the students as well. Some kind of self assessment practices and student assessment practices should be there in schools. Not taking more than 10 minutes, prepare a simple Google form with 4 to 5 questions. Make the students assess themselves when they read the chapter, when they complete the class with a certain topic, and make yourself also assess the student, and then discuss the feedback based on the responses you received. It will not only help you bond with your students, understand them better, but also it will help the students to come forward and tell their problems, because they know if I state my problem here and maybe not out loud in the class, the teacher will still get back to me with this particular topic. Okay, so assessment reforms also have changed a lot. Okay, now I just wanted to ask, I'm just speaking from the last half an hour, and I just wanted to ask, that is everyone okay with my pace and speed, and is everything fine, and you are understanding anything you want me to repeat, like anything? All right. Is it my internet I'm not getting a response, or teachers are not replying? Okay, I got Jyoti ji ka response, but not anyone else. Why only Jyoti ji? Crystal clear? All right, all right, all right. All right, crystal clear, then it's fine. I just thought it's my internet, so I just turned on or turned off my camera. Okay. And I'm not fast, right? It's like okay, the pace, because I get this complaints, that sometimes I go very fast. So if that is there, I can just go a little slow, because right now I'll just show you the links and everything. So you can like tell me right now if there's any problem, it's fine. All okay, fine. All right. All okay, all okay, all okay. Then absolutely perfect. I'm great. Okay, and let's continue with the webinar then. Okay. So discussing the 8 basic elements of a lesson plan, very important. Smart objectives of a lesson plan क्या होता है? ठीक है. So in the case of smart objectives, you can see that smart basically stands for a lesson plan, which has to be very specific in nature, as we discussed, directional. It has to be measurable and attainable in nature. You can't make a lesson plan which is not feasible for you. It should be attainable. You can't say I'll teach a letter to God, or ice and water, or whatever chapters or prose are there, in just like 2 hours, 3 hours, because it's impossible. So make something which is possible and feasible for you, so that you don't get demotivated by following it for a long time. It should be measurable in nature. Lesson plans tabhi measurable honge when you use time durations or time foundations for yourself. Okay, then only you can calculate how much efficiency you have attained in the last few weeks and how much you have completed. Okay, and yeah, that covers basically the smart objective: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Very important. So yeah, this just keep in mind while you prepare a lesson plan of your own. Ashish ji, I am using Canva Pro actually to prepare all my presentations. Since I take a lot of webinars, I use Canva Pro like in all my webinars. It has fantastic graphics, tools, and everything. Do use it. If you don't know how to use Canva, we have a webinar session on that as well. It's in the YouTube channel of the Homework app, so you can watch it there. Okay, so now the crux of the topic comes after 30 minutes of this speaker blabbing and blabbing. Now she comes to the crux of the topic. Yeah, I do. Okay, and now we'll exactly see the lesson plan, how to create for English, what is it exactly, and how it adds value to us as a teacher, and how can you create it. Okay, now, before we move ahead, I just wanted to take, one buffer class. So one class for just showing you an example. So let's say I take, class 10th ka English. Okay, class 10th ka English. Now we all know syllabus for class 10th English is this. Okay, I'll just show you very quickly here. I've jotted it down, the pointers here itself. Prose mein hai, poems mein 10 hai, and then footprints without feet is 9. Okay, we know the basic English, lit portion is this, and there's a portion for lang as well. Now there's a self-made sheet. I made it myself too for easy understanding. So I'll just show all of you. Okay, just 1 minute. Also, I'll share the links. Okay, I'll share all these links. Okay, don't worry. I'm sharing the link in the chat box as well. All my resources are CBSE's website, so you don't have to worry. Whatever CBSE has given, everything is suggested in the webinar. So sorry, excuse me. All right. So yeah, here. Okay. Here's a drive link which I'm gonna show you right now also. Okay. One sec. Yeah. This particular sheet I have made myself. Okay, and this is basically a simplification of what the pattern for board should be for 2022 2023. It's a simplification of that pattern. Okay, so you can see section A hai, B hai, and section C hai. Okay, section A is basically of 20 marks, section B is of 10 and 10, that is again 20, and section C is of 40 marks. So 40 is lang, 40 is lit. And you can see how simplified it is in 2 pages. Okay, so this is something which I've self-prepared for you to just go through. Standard 10 teachers, you can use this if you want. Okay, it will help you a lot because it's a simplified version of the same. Okay, then this particular is for which class? Let me check. Okay, this particular circular is for the syllabus of English standard 9 and 10. Okay, for the lesson plan preparation, first you need to know the syllabus. So the first step we are going to cover is seeing the syllabus. How do we see the syllabus? What is it? What not? And then let's see the templates. Uske baad, okay? So not only standard 9 and 10, since I found it as my standard example class, you all can find one of your own. Just go on Google, type out CBSE curriculum for English standard 10, 11, 12, or 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever your class is. Okay. Now there's another link for reference which I have for you for 9. Okay, 1 minute. Content curriculum. Which link is this? Let me check. Oh, it's the same one. Okay. Okay. And yeah, I have a link for 11 as well. Class 11. Since I got complaints, ma'am, आप कभी 11 12 के लिए share ही नहीं करते हो. So I bought links for this also. Standard 11 के लिए English. I'll show this as well. I'm just trying to show you the basic syllabus as of now, okay? कि कहाँ से आप इसको ले सकते हैं. How the CBSE circular will exactly look like for you, okay? I'm just trying to show that. Okay? So you can see how the circular looks like. I'm scrolling very quickly, but yeah, just to give you an idea of the same. Standard 12 का भी इसी में है. So you both 11th and 12th can be used by this. Okay? For syllabus. All right. Also, there's another link I found in the CBSE digitaleducation.com wherein syllabus for all the subjects for standard 11 can be found. So Dipti ji, I'm coming to it. I'm coming to it. 4, 5, 6, I'm coming to it. Okay, don't worry. All right. I'm very sorry, this webinar is particularly focused on English, so we won't be able to discuss other subjects here. All right. We will be having the same session for SST in the coming week. Please do join the same. And then there is one link for standard 12 I have. Yeah. Standard 12 के लिए अलग से भी ये 4 pages की sheet है जो कि एक simplified version है. So you can use this as well. Ma'am, sir, this class is specifically Shikha ji. It's not for SST or history. It's just for English. Very sorry to disappoint you, ma'am. All right. Yeah. And I have a reference link for standard 8 to 12 as well, wherein you can find all your syllabus from here for 8 to 12. Okay. I'll share this link as well. And 8 to 12. Okay, Mariam ji, you can just copy paste the entire Zoom message and then remove the standard part from there and just copy paste the link on Google Chrome and click on go. So you will be able to search for the same. And yes, teachers 4 to 7 reference link आपके लिए. I bought for all the classes. Okay, here standard 4 to standard 7, which I will show you. Just give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Teachers, I also wanted to show you, this one site. Okay. Can you all see my screen and see this imbibe.com here? Imbibe, everyone. I've shared all the links for your syllabus and everything. Okay, just follow that. Okay, just open that and you will be able to find something. Okay. Shilpi ji, Sangeeta ji, the webinar is just for English, lesson plan English. So please, no discussion for other subjects. All right. So imbibe.com is the one source you all can use to find many things here. You can see they have so many things, कि term 1, term 2 की recent years के paper मिल जाएंगे, sample papers मिल जाएंगे. You will get syllabus for everything, you want. You can see download CBSE class 10 sample papers for English. So all these steps, they will show you कहाँ से करना है, क्या करना है. Okay, you click on this link, they will direct you to another page. Okay, so imbibe.com is again a very useful source you can use for all these, stuff. They always provide you, with good content along with Byju's. Okay. So this is the one thing I wanted to show. And there's this another. Okay, so I've shared all the links. I've shared 4 to 7 English link. I've shared 8 to 12. I've shared 10, 11th and 12th separately and for 9 as well. Okay. So all the links from 4 to 12 I have shared from where you can access your syllabus, etc. Right? I'll show you. Wait, I'll just copy paste this link and I'll show you once. Yeah. All the fourth standard English teachers, you can see English syllabus यहाँ पर ऐसे दिया हुआ है पूरा आपका, ठीक है, and there are given also कितने sections है, what are this, it's very easy to understand for students as well. Similarly for standard 5, 6, 7, 8, you can just find it out on imbibe.com only. It's a good source to refer. And then if you find, a good source to refer, you can, but ultimately this is for easier understanding, but you should well verse yourself with the CBSE curriculum, because the most accurate information word by word from A to Z will be there in the curriculum only. Go through the curriculum, jot down your points, and then you can refer to these sites, and you can just see, okay, fine, yeah, I can refer to these as well. And you can see it was last modified, in like 7th only. Okay, 19/7/2022. It's very recently modified. Okay, not really, even a month. So yeah. Okay. Okay, I've shared you all the resources from where you can get your syllabus and everything. For standard 11, I've also shared an all link here in the chat box. You can share with other teachers as well. Syllabus for various things. Now, link for reference is for the lesson plan which CBSE has suggested to the teachers. This is the important stuff we need to see. Okay, yeah, this link. Can you see my screen? CBSE यहाँ British Council का भी stamp है, and sample English plan lessons embedding a competency based approach. Okay, the most important link of this entire webinar is this. Okay, I've shared the link in the chat box, and I'll show you right now how beautifully they have mentioned everything here in this particular document. Okay, now you can see from standard 6 to standard, standard 10, they have given the example of the chapters. Okay, a tiger in the zoo is there, the long walk to freedom is there. So they have just given you a template, this is the template to follow. And whether you belong to standard 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter. All the teachers who teach English can follow the same template for their subject. But just to give you an example, they have shown for this 4 to 5 classes from 6 to 10. Okay, so I'll show you one for each class. Okay. All right. All right. So you can see a house, a home. For class 6, chapter 1, okay, you can see how they have mentioned learning outcomes, ladder, duration, resources needed. And then slowly they moved on to lesson activities, introductory activity, assessment, and they have stated everything. Main activity kya hai? Okay, and you can see plenary, key competencies, what the students will learn, all the other resources, etc. they have mentioned. Okay. Then how did Patrick's, who did Patrick's homework? Again, class 6 ka hai ye bhi. So it doesn't matter if it's class 6th or 10th or 12th. Template will be the same. Okay, you can see the template here. I've shared the link in the chat box as well. Okay, but something which I found missing in this template is basically, the outcomes which are mentioned, in very brief, the key competencies. So it should be basically more detailed, and moreover, assessment reforms, are mentioned very in short, and not in details, because it's just to give you an idea, the template, right? But you can always add on your own things and your own stuff. Okay, now Chandni, lesson 1, this is again class 7. Okay, YouTube video, mountain goal. So what resources are needed? See how many resources they have, noted down here. You can also note your resources like this, and these 4 headings. Then you start with the plan. Then you have to see how the plan goes. See the 10-minute main activity, 10-minute. All these things you have to plan it very, 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 with a calm, and with a very cool mind, with a lot of focus and attention. Okay, standard 8, the best Christmas present ever in the world. Okay, you can see this chapter here, same. If you see, the template is the same. So why I'm showing for all classes? Because I want you to see, no matter it's standard 6 or 5 or 4 or 6 or 7 or 8, template is gonna be the same, just the content will be different. You can see here. Okay, and I'll show you one more for maybe standard 10. Yeah, the long walk to freedom. Okay, this is a standard 10 chapter, same template, just this kind of fillings will be different. Okay, you can see here, a tiger in the zoo ka bhi diya hai. So this is CBSE resource, and it's something which you all should must follow because it's an official resource, right? Um, Snehal ji, I told you right now only, ma'am, sir, this particular link is not for any particular class. It's for CBSE English. No matter you belong to class 1 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8, okay? This link belongs for everyone. The board has just given you an idea by giving you a template. Okay, this is how you can prepare. Okay. Yes, ma'am, it is a CBSE. Okay, it is a CBSE. What should I say? CBSE suggested lesson plan for the teachers in English. Okay, they have for other subjects as well in the same format, in the same template, in alignment with the British Council. Okay, so I'm sending the links once again for all the teachers who have missed it. All right. So I've shared almost all the links once again for all of you. If you have joined late, you were disconnected, you can access the links here. Okay, no worries. Okay. And don't get confused. This template belongs to everyone, not just a certain standard teacher or grade. Okay. Template is the same if you see across classes, just the content chapters are different. Okay. So I've shared the link for this as well. Okay. Please do make a note. So whatever basic components of a lesson plan we have discussed, right? If you see this template, almost all the basics are covered. And that was the one reason why I discussed the basics before. And then I showed you the lesson plan template. Okay. Now just to give you a little more brief, okay, on how to exactly create a lesson plan, which is very effective. You should follow the template given by the board, but some things which I found missing was, they don't, it's just a template, so it's not very detailed in nature. It's you who is gonna make it very detail oriented. Okay. And when we talk about a lesson plan, it is different from a curriculum planning. So a curriculum planning is the planning of all the chapters throughout the entire year. Okay. The lesson plan is a more focused, is a more detailed plan which focuses on just one chapter or lesson for one subject and grade. Okay. So if I'm teaching a tiger in the zoo or a long walk to freedom, my lesson plan will be entirely based on that chapter. How many periods, how many hours, what grade, subject, lesson, type of lesson, topic, materials I'm using, resources I'm using, the directions I give in the lesson plan, everything will be based on this. Okay. And one very important mechanism which is missed out is practice on a daily basis. So what I feel is, rather than pounding your students with 20-30 questions on the weekends, give them 5 questions, 10 questions, using some smart app, which has like everything. So I think the homework app has all these questions, source based, value based, and assertion, reasoning, etc. You can use that application, right? Maybe just you give 5 questions, in 5 minutes to students for practice. Practice is very, very important. No matter you use the homework app, you use any other Google resources, but make sure it's reliable in nature. Okay, because you just can't give anything for practice, right? And many sources in Google do not provide reliability. So that is again something you have to check upon. Okay. Moving ahead. Oh yeah, teachers, I have this very important link for you. This was actually a bonus for all of you. So everyone, the 146 people, get ready for a bonus. Okay, I'm giving you a bonus link, standard 1 to 12. Okay, and why it's a bonus, I'm going to show you right now. For all the classes, for all the English classes, that is grades from 1 to 12, this particular website has a pre-organized lesson plan. Okay, has a pre-organized lesson plan. All right, but the difference is कि यहाँ पर जो lesson plans दिए हुए हैं ना, those are like very, very brief if you see. So you can get the brief and gist of it, with the help of this, how can you cover and approach it. And then you can plan it, individually. Maybe if you want to make it more detail oriented, you can make it more detail oriented. If you want to make it less detail oriented, you can go by this particular approach. But yahan par again, some things are missing. Time is missing, which is very, very important. Number of periods is missing. But this link gives you an overall gist. That is what I'm exactly trying to say. कि अगर overall gist चाहिए chapter का, lesson plans का, you can also approach this link. Okay. Can you see the classes, teachers? Just click on classes, okay? And in your screen, you can see all these, see classes here. Can you all see the classes? Class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So select any one class. Let's say I select, standard 7. Okay. I select standard 7. Okay, because 11, 12, 10 to board discuss ho gaya. So let's say I select standard 7. Okay. And after selecting standard 7, this particular site will ask you कि आपको कौन से सब्जेक्ट का कंटेंट चाहिए. So I want you to share this link with the other teachers as well if you can in your group. 1 to 12 it caters to everyone. Even Sanskrit is there and Hindi is there. Okay, so I'll select English because this webinar is focused on English. Okay, so I'm selecting standard 7 ke liye English, and you can see the breadcrumb navigation here. We are in standard 7 English. Okay, and yeah, the content is appearing. Okay, ab idhar pe you will get all these options when you click. Okay, standard 7 English. So you can click on anything if you want question bank, if you want video guides, webinars, sample papers, quizzes, textbook. Just click on presentation. Okay, so when you click on presentation, you can see here all the chapters in English and prose and poem. If you click here, you'll get the presentation. Okay, so just try to use this bonus link, and I'm giving you this link right now, everyone. Please don't lose it. Okay, it's a very important link. So I'm writing even in the chat box, bonus link, class 1 to 12, all subject, syllabus covered, and much more. So yeah, you can thank me for this bonus link later, but yes, that is something I wanted to provide you at the end, so that everyone is fulfilled ki, okay, we gathered something very useful from the webinar. Okay, this is a bonus link for all of you. Just give me 1 minute, teacher. I'll stop sharing my PPT. I'm getting this weird problems in my laptop. It's just stop responding. Just give me 1 second. Let me check what is happening to this laptop. Okay, yeah. So I wanted to show you one more thing, in this particular, site which I was showing to you. Okay. So isko I'll just cross it out a bit. So I opened standard 7 के लिए English presentation, right? Okay. Standard 7 का English presentation I opened. Now let's say I want the squirrel poem. ठीक है, तो अगर मेरे को the squirrel poem चाहिए, मैं presentation के लिए यहाँ पर click करूंगी. If you click on it, see, you are getting an automatic made, auto prepared presentation. Already presentation prepared है यहाँ पर. You can just view it and you can show it to your classes as well. You can see एक basic दिया हुआ है यहाँ पर. Okay, so you can use these presentations if you find useful. If you don't find useful, again, these all are not CBSE referred. Okay, all these sites are the additional sites which I found to be great, which I found to be a lot useful for teachers, and that is why I'm suggesting. But yes, this particular 1 minute, yeah, this particular PDF which I showed you, lesson plan on English, when the British Council thing was there. Just guess 1 minute. Okay, this is a CBSE referred thing. All the syllabus which I shared with you, all the links for all the standards, this is CBSE referred. The rest of the links I found to be useful. If you found to be useful, you use it. Otherwise, well and good, you can reject it. Okay, no hard and fast rule. But I found this one to be like the link for every teacher. Okay, so please do share it with the other teachers as well. No worries if somebody hasn't attended, but you can still use it at least in some point, at the other. All right. Well, I am really glad that you all enjoyed the session. Moreover, there is just one last or two slides I want to show all of you. Okay. Now so many links and so much content, you gathered right now, right? So many things and so much to gather, so much to see. But you want more question paper, sample paper, answer keys, questionnaires apart from your daily homework, which you maybe give on the homework app, right? And how you can do that is basically using Byju's, imbibe.com, which I just showed you, Vedantu, free may, these people provide everything. Even Byju's provide free resources. Use all those free resources, exhaust it. Okay. And then what to search? So many teachers are confused ki search kaise kare. Just search CBSE English sample papers for class 9 or class 7 or class 1 or class 2, etc. Practice sets. Use different words in search. Kahin na kahin you will get it. Okay. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. And even after this, even after all the links and all the resources I shared with you and all the sites I'm sharing with you, still you think that you want to see more lesson plans, there is an option in the homework app as well, which lets you demand lesson plan from them. Okay, so I'll just take 2 minutes to show you the option wherein you can demand lesson plan from the homework app as well. Okay. कैसे कर सकते हो आप डिमांड, अगर आपको लेसन प्लान, दिस इज अ न्यू फीचर, ठीक है, एक नया फीचर है जो कि होमवर्क ऐप में आया है, वेर इन यू कैन डिमांड द लेसन प्लान फ्रॉम देम. If you still think that after all these you want more, if you still think that मेरे को एक official properly made lesson plan चाहिए, मेरे को time नहीं है, मेहनत नहीं करनी, the homework app and team, obviously they're a team of IITians, so the lesson plan they give is like the best lesson plan. So you can even ask them for an idea. Okay. So into my phone, I'll just show you in 1 minute, okay, how you can demand a lesson plan from them. And yeah, then I'll quickly show you the feedback form and we'll wrap up the webinar. Oh, my screen looks beautiful, no? I just saw it in my phone, that it looks nice. All right, teachers. Sharing my phone screen in a second. Thanks, everyone. I'm in so many comments. Oh my God. I think my mom and dad has also not praised me this much. Oh my God. Thank you so much. It really feels great. Thank you. All right. So if you can see the screen quickly on the homework app, all of you are using the homework app, obviously. Okay. Now, if you want to demand a lesson plan from them, now what you can do, there's a new feature. In the top, you can see me scrolling. Okay. Can you see get lesson plans, teachers? Thanks, Shrija ji. Thank you. So can you see this get lesson plan wala option? You can see एक plan का ना वो note बना हुआ है red वाला से. ठीक है. So this get lesson plan में you can just go and click on it. ठीक है. So I'm clicking on it right now and you can see what happens. So I clicked on get lesson plans option which was there. एक simple Google form open होगा. You will get a Google form and 5 questions are there. Simple basic 5 questions. आपका email ID, which grades do you teach? आपको कौन से सब्जेक्ट के लिए लेसन प्लान चाहिए, and then why do you need it and how and when will you use it, and then you can click on the submit button and then the homework app and team will get back to you with the same. Okay, so this is a very effective means of gathering lesson plans from the application as well, having everything at your disposal. So इतने सारे resources है. See, one thing I learned, teachers, I'm very sorry, I'm not wanting to be informal right now, but one thing I learned in life is when you get something for free, there and then, and even thoda agar cost bear karna pade, and if you feel it's worth the cost, just go for it. Exhaust your resources so that you're so confident that people come to you, that okay, have you seen that, can you just teach me that? It should be like that. Shira ji, honestly, I don't have any idea. I am just a speaker, so I don't have any idea. But since I knew कि there's a new feature which has right now in the homework app कि जहाँ पर आप lesson plans मांग सकते हो, so I just thought that I'll show you that as well. Okay, but it's totally up to the teachers, if you want to use this option or if you don't want to use this option. But Google form submit karne mein you're not getting paid, right? So for submitting the Google form, you don't have to pay any charges. Let the homework app and team get back to you, and then it's up to you if you want to pay, if you don't want to pay, or if it's free. I never know. I really don't know if it's free or it's charged, so I'm not sure. All right. Okay. It's 6:58. I promise I'm going to share the attendance link or the certificate link in 5 minutes. Give it 2 minutes. Okay. I'll just show you how to fill the attendance form so that you don't make, mistakes in that. And your certificate is like exactly right. Okay. So in just 2 minutes, I'll show you that, and then I'll share you the link. Vidya ji, if you have filled it a long time back, you can just reach the support section of the homework app for the same, and the team will get back to you. Or you can contact any of the app representatives you are in connect with. They will answer you the question. Any problems with the certificate, any other problem, please reach the support section of the homework app. Okay, because I'm just a speaker, so I really, really can't help. In this case, give me 1 minute. I'll show you how to fill the attendance form, and then I'll share. Okay. All right. Teachers, I hope you all can see the form for the day. So when I send you the form link, form ऐसा ही दिखेगा. ठीक है? Just click on start. Okay. After clicking on start, basic details होंगे. My name, okay. My WhatsApp phone number, my email ID. Let's say I enter this, and then what is my gender? It's female. And then what is my school institute? Since I am not in any, I'll just enter ZZZ. You can enter yours. Then they will ask you कि आपका designation क्या है? What's your designation? So I'll just enter that I'm a tutor. And if you want to use the homework app free of cost for your school, okay? So if you want, you can click on yes. And then the summary details will be shown. The same will be used for generating your certificates. So if you make mistake here, certificate may be mistake hoga. So you can correct it if you have done it wrong with the help of the form arrows. Back jaake you can correct it. But if you think that it's right, you can just click on continue. Okay. They'll ask you if the school has started again after summer holidays. If it hasn't, click on no. If it has, click on yes. Okay. And the Smart Teacher Festival. As I said, I will talk in the last about it. Just in very brief, Smart Teacher Festival gives you two benefits. एक तो Smart Teacher official certificate from the homework app and a reward which is worth rupees 2000. Okay. Now, how can you participate in it? You can participate in the Smart Teacher Festival free of cost. There is no cost to it. You just have to join a WhatsApp group. And you have to join this WhatsApp group for 7 days. Okay. Now, after joining for 7 days, what you have to do when you join the WhatsApp group today, okay, you have to create at least 3 homeworks using the homework app and get at least 30 submissions overall by your students. And then, send them the auto generated reports from the application. And yeah, that's it. The team leaders who will be there in the WhatsApp group will send you the leaderboards or the scoreboards every day. And accordingly, all the teachers in the group will keep on receiving, their certificates, rewards, as per their efforts in the festival. Okay. So if you want to participate in this free of cost festival, you can click on yes and earn your rewards. And then one last question is, do you teach maths? If you don't, you click on no. If you do, you click on yes. And you click on submit button. Now the most important part, teachers. If you have clicked on yes for participating in the Smart Teacher Festival, don't forget to join the festival group. Okay? Join festival group, click here and you will join the WhatsApp festival group so that you can participate in it, which will appear after you click on the submit button. Okay, so don't forget to join the group. Yeah, here is the form link. The form will close by 7:15 p.m. Please fill it. Okay. Yes, Jyoti ji, definitely. It's an official certificate, by a company. So I think it's applicable, I think, everywhere. You can show it, ma'am. Thanks, Benita ji. Thank you so much. Means a lot, ma'am. Oh my God. Thank you so, ma'am. You like my mehendi? Thank you. So this is the form link for today. Okay. It's for 7:15 tak please fill it. I don't want any of you to then, come ahead and say that certificate miss ho gaya because you deserve it. Okay. So just fill it by 7:15 because after that form will close. Okay. And yeah, thank you so much. My name is Harsha Agarwal. I'm practically taking webinars for the last 8 months with the Homework App and team, and I think all the webinars out of, I think 80, 90 webinars out of 100 is taken by me. So if you have watched this and you like this, you can watch other recorded webinars as well, which is there in the YouTube channel of the Homework App.